Hi everybody. So today we're taking our scraps from the vegetables that we ate all week and we're going to replant them so that way in a week or two, depending on what the vegetable is, sometimes a little longer, you'll have a new vegetable that you can eat again. Excellent. So perfect for Earth Day. Happy Earth Day yesterday. So today, some of the items that I was able to save was I have some bok choy. I've got my green onion. We've got some potatoes. And I got this lettuce. And I bought it in one of these containers. This is butter lettuce that it comes with its own roots. The roots are still attached. So that means you can replant them. That's right. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the green onion, because that is the one that I started when I thought about doing this class. So you got your green onion, and you eat the top half, and usually you end at the white part, and you chop that off and you throw that out, putting in your compost. Even better yet, go ahead, take your knife or scissors if you'd like, and just cut that. And what you're going to do is you're going to take this piece, it's got a leaf stuck to it, and you're going to just stick it in a cup of water. I have this one taped. This has been sitting in this water for a few days now. I'm just trying to think, about 4 days. Now I keep refreshing the water, and every 2 days, depending on what vegetable you're trying to regrow. It depends on how frequently you have to change the water. So something like with onions, every 2 days is fine. Lettuce is a little finicky. You have to do that every day. What type of containers do you need to do this? Don't use steel, right, or tin cans, because the metal will rust, and that will get into your vegetables. So I found random plastic containers, especially ones without lids. I also have jars. This is really good for tall things like my bok choy. And then we have, from the garden center, a flower pot that I took out the flower or whatever the heck I bought out of here, and I kept the soil because it's got some good nutrients still in it. And that's perfect for regrowing things. So we've got the onion going, right? And then this is what it's going to look like. Here, let me show you real close. I just taped it onto the side of my cup. So the roots are looking very healthy. Oops, sorry, it's a little out of focus. And it started growing the green part. You can leave these inside in a window for about a week and a half, and then if it's warm enough, go ahead and transplant it outside, or go ahead and stick it in some dirt. Again, this is another thing that I got from the garden center last year. And I just to transplant it, it's really easy. So because it's got long stems, maybe this isn't too bad. You just want to make sure that you have about an inch from the root base, about that much, so maybe about an inch inside the soil. So just, I'm a big fan, just put your finger in, dig in, and just stick that in there. And that's it. And cover the rest with soil. And pour water in there, and you're good to go. And that's a new one. Now we've got this guy. Sometimes you see one laying in the bottom of your crisper. That's what happened to this one. So after you let it soak for a few days, right? And you let it grow out, then you're going to plant it. Now this we have is a regular yellow or white onion, right? And if you see, let's see if I can focus this here. No, it won't let me focus. Okay, I'm sorry. So we've got this, and there's the root. I'm just trying to get it going. It sees me very well. There we go. If you could see the white roots growing out of it, it means it's working, right? So I'm letting this soak. This has been soaking for about 2 days now. My water is very stinky, but it's got green. I know with the lighting. Let's see if I can. There we go. It's got green leaves coming out of it, so that means it's working. So in a few more days, I want to see some more white roots coming out of it. As soon as you see that, then you can plant that. Excellent. So now, let's get on to the potatoes. We did the onions. Now, I've had these guys sitting for a while. There we go. Remember the eyes of a potato? That's actually the roots. And we've got some roots growing here. Let's see, now it wants to focus on me, so maybe I can get it to focus on this. Those are the roots. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to cut the potato in kind of like a triangle shape and leave the root and just cut off the either end of that. If your potato is too small to do that with, you don't have to. It's okay. Sorry about the shaking camera. I'm on a card table. There we go. So just expose some of the potato, but leave the roots alone. And you've got to remember, when you plant this in a container, these are the roots. This is the part that goes down. You're going to want to do this because it looks like a flower. And you're just going to dig this in and just cover that. Hold on, I've got one from before that I did. And put that in and just cover the whole thing. You are going to let that sit and then water it, right? Always water and leave it in the sun. You're going to want to cover that and do that. And you're going to leave it in this small little container for a little while until you see a plant. So this is one way to do it. And then you're going to transfer this either outside to a bigger pot. The plant itself gets to be about 2.5 feet tall. And then that means the roots. Usually the plant and the root is the same size. Isn't that kind of neat? And underneath, you're going to have a bunch of little baby potatoes all over inside the roots. So there's a bunch of different ways to plant a potato. So this is just one way. Another fun way is you take a burlap bag. Now, if you don't have a burlap bag, which most people don't, you can get those bags that you get from the dollar store, where it is, where they're kind of holey-ish and good for shopping bag stuff, but not the plastic ones. And then you fill that up with dirt, and you just stick potatoes in. Just, again, cut them where you see eyes. So this potato has some eyes over here and an eye over here. So I've got 2 potato plants in one plant. So I'm just going to chop that in half. A little purple potato. And I'm just going to plant these 2. Just like this. Not doing anything special, just cutting it. Putting it inside that bag. And fill it up with good soil. So planting soil that you can get at the hardware stores or any gardening store. Or if you've got good dirt outside, how can you tell you got good dirt? You got a lot of weeds in an area. Any place where you have flowers growing that doesn't have the flowers growing, but over beside them, go ahead and take that dirt and mush that around. Take that and just put these in. And after a while, you'll have potato plants. And what I do with my gardening club during the summers usually is I just dump out the bag and let them find the potatoes in the dirt. It's fun. So that's nice and easy, right? You didn't have to do anything. My last thing that I'm doing today is my lettuce. Oh, dripping. So I'll drip over the potatoes. So this head of lettuce, right? what we did is I took my hand and I put my hand inside the head of lettuce, okay? And I took all the main big leaves off of it. Because in here, it's hard to see. I have pictures that I'm going to be editing in. You'll see inside we have little heads of lettuce growing. So we take the outside out and we're just going to let it sit in water and wake up the roots a little bit. From after they've been harvested, they kind of go in a stunned mode where they don't grow anymore. But if you open them up again by putting them in water, sunlight, for about a week, they'll begin growing. And then from there, you can either keep it in water that you change, because it's lettuce, every day. You can just keep changing that and just grow it in water. That's hydroponic growing. Or if you've got, again, dirt, either in a pot or outside, if you're lucky enough to have a yard, go ahead and you can grow it there. Perfect. Bok choy. This was fun. So, bok choy, it's a long, and it's got dark leaves on top. I chopped this one in half. So here, this is what it kind of looked like in the very beginning. I let this sit in my refrigerator for about a week and a half after we harvest everything for this class. And let me show you what started. Let's see. I'm trying to see if you can see. Yes, you can see that. You see the little yellow flower? Yeah, it began to flower already. And from here, every place that we've taken a stem of bok choy, a new stem, a new plant has formed. Now this is just from your regular grocery store. I didn't buy any special vegetables or anything. And again, on this side, we have some. So from here, I'm just waiting for roots to happen. I see a couple of roots are actually springing. It's going to be hard to see. A couple of roots are springing up over here. From there, when more roots come, then it's ready to plant in the sun outside. Again, either in a pot or in the ground. So we have containers that we can put stuff in. We've got our extra vegetables. Seeds. Seeds are very easy. It tells you exactly how to take care of them outside on the back. So spinach needs full sun. If you realize that you don't have, what does full sun mean? It means 6 hours of sunlight. If you don't have that at your house, just don't do the spinach and get another vegetable that might not need full sun. I've got a couple of packages. Full sun, vegetables like sun. So everything I got was full sun. It's not going to be the end of the world if you don't have 6 hours constant of sun, but just try to get as much sun as you can. So you just have to, let's see now, open up the package. Now, spinach seeds are kind of tiny. Tiny, 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 tiny things. The easy thing to do is when you have your dirt, because these are tiny, I've got toothpicks to help me. And I'm just going to poke holes. Melanie's eyes are not as good as they used to be. 1 seed per hole. Okay. You don't want to fill the whole thing with seeds because you're going to have to, what's called, you're going to have to prune them out or weed them out. So try to do maybe 2 or 3, if you have one of these, per container of one of these. Okay? And that's it. 2 or 3 seeds. There we go. And we just do that. And that's it. And you just keep it by a window. And just water it ever so often. Because these have holes, go ahead and put a plate or it in a bowl or something. So when you water it, the water is going to go through. And that's okay. That's what's supposed to happen. Okay? So you bring the water through. And there we go. And spinach will happen. It will happen in 45 days. I'll have spinach plants growing. And that's it. Okay, so that was about 15 minutes. But I think you had a good time. And I hope to see you later. Bye, everybody.